Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today I'm going to be making two different elites of Kyle Fletcher. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm making not one but two different looks for Kyle Fletcher here, and one is going to be his plain black tights with the red design on him. That they say Protostar on the back. He wore like a white version and a black version, so I decided to go with the black just because I had the black legs already. I thought it'd look a little more clean. Then over here, we're going to be going with the white attire he wore when he fought Will Ospreay. We've got the tattoos and everything in there. What AEW pay-per-view was that? I don't remember which pay-per-view it was. I messed their pay-per-views up. I haven't quite gotten their names down. But I know it was the one when he did the pile driver to the ring steps, and I was terrified watching it. But I try to stay caught up with AEW. I do a lot of head shaking watching their stuff. I feel like Kyle Fletcher could be a big star, but I feel like they're not consistent in pushing people in AEW outside of Jon Moxley, kinda. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Jon Moxley. We're here to talk about Kyle Fletcher. So we've got these two looks, and then I do plan to redo the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay in their green, white, and gold look. But I'm waiting on that head sculpt. I'm waiting on that other Kyle Fletcher head sculpt. So we've got just the shaved head and then the kind of longer hair here as well. So we've got these Kyle Fletchers today. I'm excited. Let's get to it. All right, prep for these guys is going to be pretty simple. Plain black, plain white. The plain black and white on the attire with just the decals over it. So nothing too extensive, especially since I've got the pieces molded in the correct colors. It's really going to just come down to the small details with the tights, tattoos, hair, everything. I do really like these sculpts from Federation. They the hair, they're molded well, and they lend themselves to painting easily because the hair and everything is there. I'm not just winging where the hairline and stuff is. I used a dark wash for both of those and just painted a few layers till I kind of got it where I wanted. The decals for this one, I wasn't sure how far up the red was going to go, so I am going to do the waistband or the belt of his tights up a little bit higher on the torso. I like that look for him. Sometimes it works. I'll do it for Ospreay sometimes too. But what I ended up doing was just cutting the belt part and then putting that decal on, and then I'll paint around the rest in black. With this one, I did want to do the red, and then I'll seal this with Mod Podge, and then put the legs back together. Then once I do that, then I'll seal it, I'll spray it all again. But I wanted to get that red on there before I had the knee pads and everything attached on. I did tape off the torso and thighs here just so I wouldn't get white paint on them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it just comes down to patience or whether I am confident that I'm not going to mess it up while I'm going. Today was one of those days I just didn't feel like messing with it. Here we go. Time to finish things up here, and I have started and stopped my Kyle Fletcher customs so many times because dude kept cutting his hair. So I'm happy I can finally just wrap these two up. I am about to do an Aussie Open with. I'm gonna redo those. I've seen some good. I have them right here. Let me give you a sneak peek. Here's gonna be my Mark Davis. course, Osprey, used that formula a few times. And then here's going to be that Kyle Fletcher. But I'm going to be making those guys again. I was happy to wrap these two up though. So obviously we've got the like singles look of his, which the white attire is the more current look. As I record this, he might change it up again. But the black attire, I had a lot of fun. I've had that for so long, just sitting on the shelf, and I keep shuffling things around. Finally got around to it. I love the dimension that the white wrist tape adds to customs. I really like that. It's obviously that taped look. I like it way more than painting it on. The elbow pad is from a Chuck Taylor figure. I think that's the only one we've gotten of him. I bought a bunch of his figures. They were like $2 on Ringside during the Black Friday deals. So I bought a bunch of those just for the open black elbow pad, and I think that fits on there perfectly. The black paint I did end up, like once I kind of wrapped things up, I was touching things up, I went and got some black glitter paint from Walmart, and it is not like, you should definitely just put it on afterwards. And it felt more like Mod Podge than it did paint. It was like very thick. It did not go on in like a clear or a black look. It was like a silverish, so I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to come out, but I was really happy with it. And you can kind of see it in the camera there, that like shimmer on it. And I didn't do it everywhere, and I feel like you can definitely pick out where it is done and where it isn't. It's on the knee pads and the kick pads there too, but that turned out really well. I was really happy with that. I like how the waistline turned out there, making the belt a little higher on the waist instead of just on the tights. And then on the white one, it was pretty simple, and I'm happy with how clean it came out. I almost missed that red under the knee pads just because I wasn't expecting it. I just happened to see it with the reference photos there. But both of these head sculpts I'm really happy with. The other one is going to be the like middle one where his hair is a little bit longer, so it won't be 100% accurate to that Aussie open look, but I didn't want to reuse these head sculpts. So there's our Kyle Fletchers. Like I said, I've wanted to make them for a really long time. I had started and stopped them, but I finally made it here, and I'm really happy with the part choices for those. He's gotten in awesome shape. Maybe he could be a little bigger torso wise, but I felt like that one fit him pretty well as far as his build and everything. So I'd love to know what you guys think, but if you stuck around all the way to the end here, I appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.